to take her as payment for the debt. He refused at first, but when he looked at her, everything changed. The day Elias Turner rode into the outer settlement, he didn't expect his life to twist into something he could never walk away from. He had only come for a simple reason, to settle an old ranching deal gone wrong. The man he owed money to, Grady Morley, wasn't known for patience or forgiveness. Elias had taken a loan from him 2 years earlier after a drought ruined half his cattle. He had worked tirelessly to repay it, but the interest kept rising faster than he could earn. Now Grady had summoned him with a final warning: pay the remaining amount or face consequences. Elias arrived at the edge of the dunes where Grady and 2 men were waiting near a wagon. They were armed, rough and ready, but Elias had expected that. What he didn't expect was that there was someone else there, someone kneeling in the sand with her hands tied behind her, her clothing decorated with beadwork that caught the sun, her dark hair tangled around her face, her expression unreadable but fierce. She was a captive, taken from a nearby tribal hunting route, and that alone made Elias's stomach twist. Grady smirked the moment Elias approached. "You're late." "And you're light on the payment again." Elias dismounted slowly, calculating his words. "I've brought what I could. It's not the full amount, but I'll pay the rest soon. I just need a little more time." Grady spit into the sand. "I'm done giving time." Elias carefully placed the coins on the back of the wagon. "You'll get the rest." Grady ignored the money. Instead, he motioned toward the kneeling woman. "You want your debt cleared?" "Take her." Elias froze. He thought he had misheard. "What?" "Take her," Grady repeated. "She's worth more than the money you still owe. The tribe would kill to get her back. Or maybe you'll find another use for her. Either way, she's yours if you walk away and forget the debt." Elias felt a wave of anger. "I don't buy people," he said sharply. "And I don't take prisoners." Grady laughed. "You think you're better than the rest of us? This is how things work here. Payment is payment." Elias looked at the woman again. She sat silently, shoulders straight despite the ropes. Her eyes didn't plead. They challenged. She looked like someone who refused to break, no matter what was done to her. Elias turned away, trying to control his temper. "Untie her and let her go. You'll get your money within a month." "I'm done waiting," Grady snapped. "Either you take her and walk away clear, or I take your horse and your gear and leave you with nothing. Choose fast." Elias clenched his jaw. He hated the situation, hated how powerless he felt. But then, just as he turned again toward his horse, he looked at the woman one more time. Something shifted inside him. Her expression was not just fierce, it was exhausted beneath that strength. She had been fighting alone for who knew how long. Elias knew if he walked away without her, Grady would sell her to someone far worse, or worse yet, keep her. Elias realized this wasn't about a debt anymore. This was about a life. With a deep breath, he walked back toward Grady. "Fine," he said quietly. "Cut her loose." Grady grinned triumphantly. One of his men stepped forward and sliced the rope around her arms. She winced, but didn't make a sound. Elias reached out a hand to help her stand, but she slapped it away, refusing assistance. She rose on her own, shoulders square despite the pain. "I'm not yours," she said, her voice hoarse but steady. "I know," Elias replied. "You're free to go wherever you choose." Grady rolled his eyes. "She won't last 5 minutes out here?" "You're wasting your time." Elias ignored him. He motioned toward his horse. "Come with me," he told her gently. "I won't harm you." "You have my word." She studied him with cautious eyes, trying to decide whether to trust him. Finally, she nodded once. Elias helped her onto his horse and mounted behind her. Before they rode off, he turned back to Grady. "You and I are finished." Grady sneered. "We'll see about that." Elias didn't reply. He urged his horse forward, leaving the men behind in the dunes. The woman sat tense, ready to leap off at any moment, unsure of him. Elias kept his hands visible and his voice calm. "My name is Elias Turner," he said. She didn't answer. After a long moment, she finally said, "Naira." The name suited her, sharp and strong. Elias didn't know where this would lead, but he already understood one thing, the moment he looked into her eyes back there. The debt he came to settle had changed into something far more dangerous. and he wasn't turning back. Elias kept a slow, steady pace as they rode toward the rocky ridge that marked the path to safer terrain. Naira shifted slightly, trying to keep balance on the horse, her shoulders tight. She wasn't relaxed, not even for a moment. Elias noticed the rope burns around her wrists and the bruising along her arms. Rage simmered inside him, but he pushed it down. He couldn't afford anger, not now. "You can rest soon," Elias said quietly. Naira didn't respond. She seemed to be conserving her energy, studying every direction as though expecting danger from all sides. When they reached the shadow of the ridge, Elias brought the horse to a stop and dismounted. "You can climb down if you want. I won't touch you unless you need help." She slowly slid off the saddle, wincing. Her legs trembled slightly from hours of being bound. Elias stepped back to give her space. "I'm not asking you to trust me," he said. "Just stay until your strength returns. Then you can decide what to do." She narrowed her eyes. "Why did you take me?" Elias hesitated. "Because leaving you with them wasn't an option." She looked unconvinced. "Men don't take women for noble reasons. There is always something they want." Elias met her gaze steadily. "I want nothing from you except to make sure you reach your people." Alive, she folded her arms, uncertain how to react to kindness. Elias gathered some supplies, offering her water and part of his rations. She accepted them cautiously, eating with small, controlled bites. After a while, she spoke again. "My brother will come for me. He will track those men." "Good," Elias said. "He'll find them before they hurt anyone else." Naira studied him more carefully this time. "You speak as if you know our ways." Elias nodded. "When I was younger, I worked alongside a tribe farther north. They taught me things, not enough to claim I understand everything, but enough to respect your people." Naira seemed taken aback by that. "Then you know they will not easily forgive what happened." "I don't expect forgiveness," Elias replied. "I only want the truth. Known that I didn't take you by force." She tilted her head slightly. "If you wanted to clear your name, you could have left me." Elias exhaled. "I couldn't." She held his gaze for a long moment. "You risked your life for someone you do not know." Elias shook his head. "I risked it because some things are worth more than money." She didn't respond, but her expression softened slightly, the first shift in her guarded demeanor. Hours later, as they prepared to move again, a rustle echoed from the ridge behind them. Naira stiffened instantly. Elias reached for his rifle. 3 figures emerged, warriors, weapons ready, eyes sharp. Naira stepped forward before Elias could react. "He did not harm me," she said firmly. "He freed me." The warriors hesitated. One of them, the tallest, stepped closer. "Naira," he breathed, relief and fury mixing in his tone. "You are alive?" "Because of him," she said, pointing to Elias. Elias lowered his rifle, showing no threat. The tall warrior looked Elias over. "Why would you help her?" Elias answered simply, "Because she deserved help." The warrior studied him for a long, tense moment. Then he nodded once, an acknowledgement of rare weight. Naira turned to Elias, her voice steady but quieter than before. "You owe nothing now. You may go." But Elias didn't move. He wasn't sure why, only that it felt wrong to walk away abruptly. "Take care of yourself," he said. "You're stronger than any of them realized." For the first time, Naira's expression softened into something real, not gratitude, not affection, but understanding. A mutual recognition of 2 lives that crossed at the strangest moment. One of the warriors brought her a cloak, and as she wrapped it around herself, she looked back at Elias. "When you looked at me," she said, "what changed?" Elias met her eyes steadily. "I saw someone who deserved a chance to fight for her own life, not be traded like a thing." Naira held his gaze. "Then you saw me clearly." Her words lingered as the warriors guided her away. Elias stood silently, watching until they disappeared behind the ridge. Only then did he mount his horse. He had come to settle a debt, but instead he walked away with something heavier, a truth he didn't fully understand yet. As he rode back toward the open land, he knew one thing with absolute certainty: he would never forget the moment everything changed.